Hey, if you're an options trader and you're still struggling to, consistently put together winning trades, then you probably don't realize how important it is that picking the right direction of the stock is the end all be all to having winning trades. If the stock doesn't move in the direction that you need it to, you are not going to win on your options trades. So how do you become a better picker of stock direction? In my opinion, I've been in this business for over 30 years. You have to know how to read the stock charts. The stock charts tell you everything you need to know about whether a stock's going to go up, going to go down, going to go sideways. And that is the most important thing to having a winning options trading portfolio. So, in these videos, like I do all the time, I make these free videos for the trading community, want to impart the knowledge that I've come to know over the past 30 years is how I read stock charts. I'm a technical analyst. I never make an options trade without looking at the charts first. So if you want to get a little insight on how I do it and how to become a better options trader, then watch this video. I'm going to go over the charts. I'm going to show you what I'm seeing, what's probably coming forward, what's going on in the past, and it could help you check your trades to see whether it's time to get in or out of a new option trade. All right, so let's just jump right in here. All right, everyone, Lee Lowell here from smartoptionseller.com. So let's just check the charts. That's what we do. That is how you become a better options trader. So what you'll see in front of you for those newbies here is these are the charts that I look at. Up here is the price action of the stocks. Down here is the RSI indicator. I only use a few indicators. What you'll see up here, this is a daily chart. I only look at daily charts. And these are the open, high, low, close bars. These are not candlestick charts. Each line here, each vertical line is 1 day's worth of trading. And I have 3 moving averages. I got a 20-day, 50-day, and 200-day, all simple moving averages. Here's the blue line, this is the 20-day. This red line is the 50-day. And down here, this green line is the 200-day. Down here, the RSI, it's an overbought, oversold oscillator. It oscillates back and forth between the 80 level and the 20 level, which tells me when and or if a stock or index is in overbought territory or down here near oversold territory. And it's all based on the price action up here. You'll also see some of these blue lines. These are channels that I draw just to give me a good idea of which direction the market is trending or a stock is trending. The trend is the most important thing. The trend is your friend. So you want to mark off the trend so you can get out at the tops or in at the bottoms, and just gives you an idea which way the stock is moving. And these lines as well, this is another channel right here. See the horizontal line. So it always tells me which area a stock is moving in, up or down, sideways, whatever. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at where the market's been, what's been going on. We'll take a look at individual stocks. I'll show you some of the stocks that I'm looking at for potential movement in the coming future. So right here, what we look at is the SPY. That's the exchange traded fund for the S&P 500. And we use that as a good proxy for the overall general market. Okay. So the SPY, where we are now. So we finished making this video on Sunday, September 1st, 2024. So this last bar was Friday, August 30th, 2024. As you can see, this is an all-time high for the S&P 500. This was back in the middle of July. Let me open up out to the monthly chart so you can see what's going on here. So as you can see, the stock market just continuously goes up over time. That is what the market is. That's what it is supposed to do, because the market is made up of actual companies that create actual products that people actually buy. And as long as those companies keep pumping out, bigger revenues, more sales quarter after quarter, their stock price is going to keep going up. So the S&P 500 is made up of these profitable companies that over time, in the long run, I'm talking the long run, the market will go up. Now, of course, we'll have pullbacks. COVID, we had this pullback in 2022, the financial crisis, 2008, 2009. But over time, all those pullbacks get bought up again, and we make more new all-time highs. So I'm in the camp of I'm an optimist. I know the market will go up over time, but my time frame is longer. Okay, but for a lot of people that play in the options market, they have a much shorter time frame. So if you have a shorter time frame, really being able to read the stock charts and tell when a stock is going to move is super paramount, because if you're buying options, if you're buying call options, even buying put options, your timing has to be pinpoint accurate, or else you're going to lose money on those options that you purchased. Okay, so let's just take a look at, see what's going on here. So back in July 2024, the S&P 500 made all-time new highs, had this down move for about, a couple weeks. And right early in August, we had that quick downdraft, that panic move down the first couple of days of August. And look what's happened. We've had that V-shaped recovery. Now, the last video I made here for this was a couple weeks ago. So we were trading right around here. Okay, I drew the resistance line right here. I said we may be hitting a double top. That's when a market makes a high, pulls back, and then comes back up to that same area. So we had the resistance line right here. But I also said is that if it could get through the resistance, it's gonna, gun for these all-time new highs. So here's where the S&P 500 has been over the last 2 weeks, just churning right near these all-time highs. So let's draw another line here. And just to know that this is where we may see a little more resistance, or it's just going to blast through and just make more new all-time highs. I'm in the camp that we're going to see more new all-time highs. It's just a matter of time at this point. So we've got, first we made this double top here, but now we have the other double top here. So we had the top here, and now we've got this like resistance area right in here. As long as the market could keep the bullish action going, it's gonna keep going higher. We may see a little bit more churning here sideways, a little bit more resistance at this level, but you can't hold the bulls back for long. Eventually, it's gonna break through and make more all-time new highs. Okay, so that's where we are with the overall general market, just churning around these all-time highs here. It's only a matter of time before it blasts through. Let's look at the Nasdaq by using the triple Qs. If you want to know the symbol right up here, QQQ. Now the Nasdaq has not been as strong recently as the S&P 500. You can see the all-time highs here, early mid-July. We've made somewhat of a comeback, but we're not looking at taking out the all-time highs just yet. So the Nasdaq, which has been super strong over the last year or so, at the very moment, not as strong as the S&P 500. So for me, I'm working on the S&P 500 because that one's the strongest right now. Let's look at the diamonds, which is the exchange traded fund for the Dow. Now the Dow has made all-time new highs just this past week. This is the proxy for the exchange traded fund for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So that has gotten over the 40. Now, let me see if I have the symbol for the Dow here. Here we go. Let's look at this one. So this is the actual Dow index, has gotten above 41,500. Here's where it closed, all-time new highs. So we can just go back to the DIA here and all-time new highs. So the Dow and the S&P 500 are the leaders right now, where the Nasdaq currently is the laggard. But once those tech stocks get going again, the Nasdaq's just gonna take off like a rocket. So if you're looking for the undervalued area as far as the indexes go, the triple Qs right here, once this thing gets through this resistance, it's going to gun for the all-time new highs. So I'm also looking at some Nasdaq stocks to blast out pretty good too. So we get through this August-September period, which is typically seasonally a little weaker for the market. But once you get into that last quarter of the year, that's when the bulls really start to come out. So I'm really getting myself set up for a nice bull run towards the end of the year. And just because a market or a stock is at all-time new highs doesn't mean it can't make more all-time new highs. I get a lot of people that email me. They say, Lee, the market just can't go up anymore. I mean, there's so much bad news out there. There's stuff going on globally. How could the market keep making new highs? And as I say, because the market is made up of these companies. It doesn't matter if there's bad stuff happening out in the world. As long as these companies keep producing these profitable products, their price is going to keep going up. That's just how it works, okay? So just because a stock's at an all-time high doesn't mean it can't make more new all-time highs. Just look at the market. Let's go back to the SPY here. I mean, you could have said here, The market was at all-time new highs. We did have the pullback for a few months, but then it made more new all-time highs. And you say, well, it can't go any higher than here. Keeps going up. Can't go any higher than here. Keeps going up. Pullback, but keeps going up. So you really want to use pullbacks as your opportunity to get in for the next leg higher. If you're in it for the long run, like I am, you keep buying on the pullbacks and it keeps rewarding you and it just keeps going up over time. All right, so let's look at some individual stocks here. And we look at more of these Nasdaq tech stocks because those are the ones that really tend to drive the market. Now, this is Apple. Okay, now Apple, I think this was an all-time new high for them. Let's just double check. So, yep, here it was. So Apple's made an all-time new high back in July, which was here, okay? Had the pullback, had that nasty pullback just like everything else, but did the big bounce and is looking to gun for that all-time new high here. So Apple, great company. It's only a matter of time before it's going to break more new all-time highs. Let's see what else we have. Let's go through the list here. These are the stocks that I typically look at on a regular basis. Let's go to Microsoft and we'll blow it up here. So Microsoft had made all-time new highs here. Pullback. Here's the 200-day moving average. A lot of times when stocks pull back really good, the 200-day moving average can catch it as that last line of support, and it could bounce there. But right now, it's sitting on convergence of the 20-day and the 200-day moving average. So this could be the next launching area for Microsoft's next move to the upside. We're not in overbought, not in oversold area for Microsoft. So what I think is going to happen is if the general market could get going, Microsoft is going to get going as well. It has had a nice pullback and could be ready for the next blast off. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Intel, not so much hanging around the lows. Nike, trying to get off the bottom. Nike's come down a long way over time. Let's look at the monthly chart for Nike. Yeah, look at this pullback that Nike's had. Here's the 200-month moving average all the way down here. Don't know if we'll fall all the way down there. Here was the COVID low, right around $60 back in 2020. I mean, Nike's gone up good and has pulled all the way. It's lost 50% of its value from its all-time highs right around towards the end of 2021. Nike's a great company. I mean, fantastic company. Can it stay down here forever? No. It's just whether it's ready to finally make that move higher. I'm sort of in the camp of I'm not really sure yet Nike's ready to continually move higher. So I'm not really, sticking my neck out here on this one. So I'm going to keep an eye on Nike for better opportunities in the future. AMD, still kind of hovering. I love AMD. I love the chip stocks. I made the all-time new highs here back in March, but has just kind of been languishing here. So AMD still kind of caught in this back and forth. Nothing really that I'm seeing that's going to make me believe it's ready to go higher or lower. Just kind of churning sideways here. If I had to guess anything, it'll probably move higher, but not much that I'm really so gung-ho about on AMD. Amazon, let's take a quick look. Amazon has that same kind of feel. Had the big drop here, it's rallied back, trying to find its footing, has that convergence of the 20-day and the 200-day moving average right here. So it bounced off of it. That's what we're looking at for Microsoft that I just showed you a few charts back. So Amazon trying to get its mojo back, kind of just, trading sideways here. Nothing major for Amazon that I'm so gung-ho on. Let's take a look at Netflix. Now, this is a stock chart that I like a bit better. You can see Netflix just continuously moving higher. I like the pattern here. It's pulled back, has made all-time new highs. Let's just double check, make sure that's all-time new highs. Yep, see it eclipsed the 700 level. Look at this pullback, this massive pullback, and has rallied all the way back up. I like Netflix. I like the pattern that I'm seeing here. And what pattern would that be? It just has this nice upward momentum. Okay, you can also see, let's draw that a little bit more here. We have this leg here with a little bit of a flat top here. Okay, so this is what's called an ascending triangle right here. I like the general upwards momentum, but this little part right here, it's got the nice upwards here, trying to get through this top right here. I like Netflix to break through Let's pull this down a little. I like Netflix to break through and then continue on its run higher. It's uncharted territory at this point. These are all-time new highs. Just because a stock's at all-time new highs means it cannot make more all-time new highs. I like Netflix. The next move should be to blast through this little resistance here and continue on its run higher. Cisco, I like Cisco here as well. Finally got out of this downtrending channel here. It's making the up move, and it's above the 20-day, 50-day, 200-day moving average. It's trading above all the moving averages. So I like that movement. This could be setting up, could be, finding some footing here for the next leg higher. So keep an eye on Cisco for that. And let's see, Procter & Gamble looks pretty good here. Kind of the same as the Netflix chart. It just has this nicely moving higher. It's got the resistance right up here. So we're going to put a line here for Procter & Gamble. It's got, it's upward momentum. And once it gets into this tip here, it's going to blast through and make more new highs. So keep an eye on Procter & Gamble for that bullish breakout. Walmart, just looking good. It's hard to keep Walmart down. I think these are all-time new highs. Yeah, look at that. All-time highs for Walmart. Just keeps churning higher. But could be getting a little overbought here. Here's the RSI getting to my overbought level. So to me, this is saying, okay, it's getting a little overheated. Doesn't mean it's going to have a crash. Just means may need a little bit of a pullback, maybe a pullback to the 20-day or 50-day moving average before it embarks on its next leg higher. So Walmart looks good for the long run. Disney, now this is a stock that Disney's just been down in the dumps, but look at this downtrend. I would not be buying this thing. What would be the reason for you to buy when a stock is in a downtrend like this? You don't. You're going to stick your neck out. Just because it's on this little uptrend, it could get knocked right back down. It's in a downtrending channel. You want to wait until the stock is in an uptrending channel before you feel more confident about buying in. I wouldn't be buying Disney here as much as I love Disney as a company. Long term, I know it's going to go up, but for now, I'm not really willing to stick my neck out here because this thing could keep going down. So we want to follow the trend. It's in a downtrending channel. I'm going to wait until I get some more validation that it's in an uptrending channel. Tesla. I always say this same thing about Tesla. It's hard for me to figure out where this thing's going to go. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, sideways. So right now, the only thing I could see for Tesla, maybe we have what's called the triangle here where it's getting in a tight range. It's going to blast up or down as it gets into this tighter and tighter range. Who knows? Tesla, I have no stake in that. It's too hard for me. Bristol Myers, I like Bristol Myers. We have an actual trade on Bristol Myers in our newsletter. We sell put options at the Smart Options Seller. That's what we do. But I like it finally has broken, Bristol Myers has been in this downtrend for a long time, had the sideways action, started to move higher. But what I like is that it's finally got enough above the downtrending 200-day moving average that it's starting to make its sideways catching its footing. What I like here is that this is what's called the W pattern. Can you see the W here? The W pattern is typically a bullish pattern. So it looks like a W. And once it gets, pretty much above the middle part of the W, see if I could draw this straight line here. This should go. This upwards momentum should keep going. So we have a bullish put sell trade on Bristol Myers. I like how it looks here. And as long as it could bust through this, it's actually about the $50 level, it should keep going on its next leg higher. So keep a bullish eye on Bristol Myers. Pfizer, also in that same space, pharmaceutical. Pfizer's just been churning down here, just waiting for this thing to go, but it just keeps moving sideways. So I'm going to keep an eye on Pfizer. Right now, I'm kind of playing it, keeping a low profile on Pfizer. Let's see what else. Costco, strong stock for Costco. McDonald's looks pretty good. Warren Buffett. Let's talk about Warren Buffett for a minute. If there's anybody that you want to follow, if there's anybody you want to piggyback, it has to be Warren Buffett. This is his Berkshire Hathaway stock, the BRK. This is the Class B shares, BRK.B. All-time new highs, almost $480 a share. Let's just double check. Yep. Look at that. I mean, his Berkshire Hathaway fund is like a mutual fund. It's like an exchange-traded fund. It's actually better than the S&P 500, in my opinion. I've been putting more of my money into Berkshire Hathaway because how could following Warren Buffett be a bad thing? It can't be. And look at this thing. We drew this congestion pattern right here, and it just blew out to the upside. Now, it might be getting a little overbought on the RSI, but you can't keep Warren Buffett down for the long run. I think if there's, for me, I'm investing my money in the S&P 500 and Warren Buffett as well. You can't go wrong with piggybacking this guy. And in fact, let's go to our website real quick here at smartoptionseller.com. Let me show you what we have. We love selling put options. That's what we do. If you don't know anything about put options, selling put options, go to our website, click on the free ebook link right up here. This is the free ebook, Put Selling Basics. Scroll down, you can read some of the testimonials. Put your name and email address here. We'll send you an email back with a free copy on Put Selling Basics. It's all about what they are, why we love it so much, and what we do. So our services here, we run 2 newsletters, our Smart Option Seller Vertical Spread Trader newsletters. We sell naked put options and we sell put option credit spreads. That's what we do. We take advantage of the uptrending market by selling put options and selling put option credit spreads. We have our one-on-one coaching. If you need a little help getting started, you can consider our one-on-one coaching. We also have our probability calculator. But as far as Warren Buffett goes, I've written a report about how to take advantage of a bullish opinion on Warren Buffett by using a different options trading strategy. So there's a secret to buying Warren Buffett for pennies on the dollar. If you have interest, if you want to follow Warren Buffett and get in on the bullish side, take a look at this report that I wrote. All right, so let's move back to the charts here, see what other stocks we can find. Facebook, Meta, still in this channel that we've drawn a long time ago, just kind of churning in that level. IBM, it's making all-time new highs, which is good. Probably going to keep going. Just because the stock's all-time new highs doesn't mean it can't keep making all-time new highs. Big Blue looking good. Google kind of has the same pattern as Microsoft, Amazon. It's pulled back. It's got the 200-day moving average as support, so it's trying to find its footing here. More than likely, it's going to go up. If the general market starts to go up, these stocks are going to fall. A lot of these bigger Nasdaq stocks have all pulled back. Could be a good place to dip your toe in and, maybe buy a few shares as the launching pad for the next move higher. All right, let's just look at a couple more and we'll call it a day here. Clorox starting to move up. Colgate, something I just want to show you. Look how beautiful Colgate is. Just hugs along the 20-day and 50-day moving average. These moving averages act like a magnet. When a stock pulls up, it's always going to pull back to one of these moving averages before it launches up again. This is a great example how a stock just follows along the moving averages, and when it pulls back, it bounces again. So, this thing is just going to keep going until it doesn't go anymore. You follow the trend, all right? You wait for the pullback, and then you buy. That's how you get in. That's your timing patterns. You want the higher probability timing patterns, which is once a stock's in a trend, you wait for the pullback to one of the moving averages, and then you get in. That's how you do better with your trading, okay? Coca-Cola, more all-time new highs. Adobe and NVDA we'll look at, and then SMCI. So Adobe, let's look at the monthly chart real quick of Adobe. So it hasn't made all-time new highs yet. It had a huge pullback, got the move back up, and then that nasty pullback. So Adobe is kind of, what I like here. Let's draw that pattern. This is what I'm seeing. You have the up move. You have the flat top here. Okay, so here's some resistance. Adobe, this should get through this resistance line and make its move towards 600 and then the all-time highs. The all-time highs were near 700. Let's go back to that. All All right, so near 700 was the all-time high. So Adobe's got a little work to do, but if it can pop through this resistance area, it'll gun for these next highs back here, which is probably about 640-ish or so. All right, so keep an eye on Adobe. Let's look at NVIDIA. I'll type it in real quick here. NVIDIA has been a darling. Had the big pullback, bounced pretty good. Had its earnings last week. Had the little pullback, but it's sitting on the 20-day moving average here. If you're still a bull on the AI space, the chip space, you know you can't go wrong with NVIDIA. It's pulled back, so maybe dip your toes here, see if it bounces, but you really can't hold these things back for too long. You know NVIDIA is going to go up at some point. And lastly, SMCI, which super microcomputer. Wow, what a move this thing has had. It blasted off from 300 all the way up to 1200 and now has pulled all the way back to 400. That's a tough one. I mean, that's if you got in, I hope you got out and took some profits. Here is the downtrend it was in, started moving sideways, but it's just some of these tech stocks are really hard to play. They're really volatile. They're really expensive. Just be careful if you're playing these things. It's in the downtrend right now. Could keep moving down. I think the next area of support is probably going to be, in that 250 to 300 range, because that's where it was. Well, that's where it churned for a long time back here. We'll draw this little channel right here. So it could pull back to this range, but right now it's in a downtrend. I wouldn't be a buyer here because there's too much bearishness going on at the moment. So that's what I'm seeing. Okay, that's it. So you want to make sure that you use the charts. Look at the charts, look at the channels, look for the pullbacks to the moving averages. These are the things you have to look for to time your trades better. If you're a short-term trader and you're trading options for short-term, your timing has to be really good. You really need to make sure you know when to get in and get out, because the stock may be moving in your favor. You got to take profits at some point. You don't want to let those profits slip away. So make sure you're using the patterns, the channels, the moving averages, the indicators. Look how this thing was so overbought right here, and that was right here, and it had this quick pullback, but then it went up again. So these are just, these aren't guarantees. These are just warning signs. But use the patterns that you see on the charts or that you can draw yourself to let you know when it's time to get in and out of a trade. All right, that's all from me. Make sure you go to our website, get the free ebook, look at the Warren Buffett report down in the description below. Please read the description below. I've got lots of links for books and websites and other services that may help you up your trading game. Leave me a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Send me an email. I'll always answer your emails. I'm here to help make these free videos for the trading community. We all want to help each other get better. All right, that's all from me. I will see everyone in the next video. This is Lee Lowell signing off.